Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here at Earth and Sky. It is finally 2022. It's so exciting. It arrived. It is here. And I've been writing 2022 on things for a few months now, so finally it'll be right if I just stick to 2022. But a new year always brings an awakening of promises and excitement of the new, the anticipation of dreams to come, the ability to say goodbye to the old and to let go of those old frustrations and things that maybe you didn't appreciate as much about 2021. But this is also a time to figure out what you want to do with those hopes and dreams. How are you going to utilize 2022 so that as the year progresses, you make something meaningful of it and you find joy within it and you are able to get to the end of 2022 and think that was an amazing year. It takes planning oftentimes to get to that point. Sometimes you might luck out and just get to the end of the year and go, what an amazing year. How did that happen? But if you plan for it, you'll be much more likely to find that you do have that success within it. So as I was pondering what we were going to be talking about today with our New Year's talk, I was thinking that as I was trying to come up with something that would be appropriate for most people, I thought if everybody had something that you wanted to learn in the coming year, what you want to learn might be very varied depending on who it is, but learning is one of the things that really propels life forward. It's one of the things that helps us to advance within ourselves. It's one of those ways that we figure out how to not just repeat a year the same way the last year was and have it happen twice in a row, but instead make something of it, do something with it. Learning something means you can bring something in to integrate, to change your life, to advance your life, or simply to bring joy. So I'd like to challenge each of you today to think about one thing that you'd like to learn this next year. And it will vary depending on whatever you want it to be. It could be something like learning how to weld, or learning how to sew, or learning a new style of cooking. You might want to learn metaphysics, or maybe you'll want to learn something that will help you advance in a new career, or perhaps learning how to do better in relationships. Whatever it is that sparks a light of joy within you, that's the thing that you should think of and decide that you want to do as you learn this year. And it's not just about deciding what that goal is. We've talked in years past about how oftentimes we'll come up with something that we are going to have as a New Year's resolution, and then a couple weeks later it's gone, or a couple of weeks later there's frustration, and then it's gone the next month. So how do you bring that in? You have to make notes of it along the way, along the year. So think about what it is you want to learn. Is it something that you want to learn from someone else, or is it something that you want to learn yourself and study or apply yourself in a certain way that you bring in this great wealth of new information and things that spark joy and creativity within you? But it's important to make note in your calendar to remind you that that's what you're doing this year, so that you don't get to February or March and forget whatever it was that you said back in January and trying to remember what it was. Obviously, if you're doing something like researching right away a class that you want to take, or something that you are going to be bringing in, that's something you'd set on your calendar really easily because somebody else is saying, be here at this time, and you better remember. But sometimes it can be forgotten pretty easily when we're wanting to teach ourselves something or to delve into private study. It can be easily forgotten, and the time can escape us, and we can get to 2023 and realize there was something last year and I don't remember what it was. Instead, make note in your calendar at least once a month, and go ahead and do this right after the life talk. If you're not sure what it is that you want to study, then go ahead and put in your calendar the placemaker that that's your time to consider what it is you're doing for 2022 each month at the same time each month. And think about whatever it is, but as you put it in your calendar, word it in a way that will continue to spark that joy of remembering why it is you want to learn whatever it is that you chose to learn this year to propel you forward. And then once you get to the place marker of June, you'll want to put an extra spot in your calendar, because once we get to June, as we talk about when we go around the wheel of the year, we're at Yule right now, the longest night of the year, the return of the sun. When we come down to the summer solstice, the sun is in full and we have our longest day of the year and so much activity. Well, this time right here in June near the summer solstice is where you should think about, is this the goal that I want to continue to have? Is this what I want to continue doing? Have I been adhering when I see those monthly things pop up in my phone calendar, whatever calendar you use? Am I remembering, or am I going, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that thing? Did you have 5 months of thinking, I was supposed to do that thing and I didn't? Well, then maybe you need to reassess your goal and make it something that really sparks joy, that you really decide is worthwhile of investing your time in and investing your energy into. So think about what it is once you get to June that is either working for you with the goals that you set, or how you want to change that a little bit, how you want to switch it around. What other things do you maybe want to add in? Maybe you feel like you've fulfilled the level that you wanted to fulfill, so June might be the time that you think, aha, now I can choose something else. Now I can add in a second path of learning or whatever else your goal will be instead. And then continue to follow that through with each of the months that come afterwards. And then in December, make another very special note in your calendar to remind yourself to look back, to assess, to think about what it is you accomplished. If it was something that you learned, how have you integrated that into your life? How did you spark joy? Did you make new connections with what it was that you were learning? Think about how it brings in, how it brought meaning to your year because you had something that you focused on, that you brought in, that you kept up with because of those reminders that kept popping up for you. I hope that gives you some food for thought about how you can integrate and make 2022 meaningful for you. This is going to be a wonderful year. The numerology for 2022 on a global level is a 6, which means it's a year of responsibility. It's a year of family. It's a year of relationships. It's a year of planning. It's a year to strategize, to come up with what your plan is. If you're somebody who likes to do the big 3-year, 5-year, 10-year plans, this is your year to strategize what you want for that. The global energy for the numerology of the 6 will be supporting you in that process. So I hope that gives you some ideas. I hope you implement it. Go ahead and do it right now. You might forget in an hour. Have a great week, everybody. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Bye.